Hello, I'm the culpability critic. I remember it because... Oh, why the hell would you want to? Hypocrisy. One of the more obnoxious aspects of human nature, and I bet you would agree. We all know somebody who criticizes other people for the exact same actions they themselves commit. Hypocrisies are something that bugs just about everybody. It's one thing to preach one's beliefs and virtues. After all, they're supposedly important enough that you shape your own life actions around them. But when somebody calls out others for the exact same thing they themselves do, and even continue to do, it's unbearable. Aside from the fact they have no room to talk, it also shows that they themselves are aware their hypocritical patterns are a bad thing, yet they continue with the behavior anyway. The only fair excuse for bad actions is ignorance, which is why actions are even worse when you very well know what you're doing is wrong. But like I said earlier, it is an aspect of human nature. Nobody's perfect. I'd even argue we all have a few things we're hypocrites about. The difference is, most of us own up to it, try to keep that list minimal, and certainly don't call out others for the same exact things we know we shouldn't be doing. And that brings us to today's subjects. Ever since Ian's apology tour, where he claimed to turn a new leaf and own up to his past mistakes and toxic behaviors, he's acquired a soapbox of sorts. It seems since he believes he's changed for the better, he now has the authority to call out others for their wrongdoings. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he and his wife didn't regularly do the exact same things they criticize. This isn't just human error, it's a character flaw. They haven't committed 2 or 3 hypocrisies here or there. They are hypocrites on a regular basis. Tracking every instance would be a never-ending feat. So, today we are covering the top 11 JAMA hypocrisies. Why top 11? Because I like Nostalgia Critic.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. That's actually, it's just really
good at it.
Number 11. Despite Anisa claiming she receives harassment merely for being Ian's wife, she actively instigates people on Twitter. But that's not what this is about. We're focusing instead on a specific tweet she made in response to Ethan calling her out, where she referred to him as an Ozempic-ridden windbag. A run-of-the-mill internet insult on the surface. But when dug further, people found an old tweet of hers where she says Ozempic isn't a shameful thing, and that it is, in fact, not a moral failure on the user's part. Yet, she insults Ethan for supposedly using it. Let's say her cope is that Ethan doesn't need Ozempic, and that it wasn't medically prescribed to him. Well, okay. That's good because he didn't take Ozempic. He lost the weight naturally. But to undermine someone's weight loss isn't just low, but hypocritical. Because to Anisa, a heavier person going to the gym and trying to improve their health is very inspiring.
And I think we live in this ass-backwards society where it is seen as okay to make fun of or ridicule people that are trying to better themselves. And I don't understand, because we're upset that there's overweight people. There are people complaining that people aren't taking care of themselves. But when they go to try and get better, when they try to get healthier, we treat them like that. And I'm not saying that everybody does it, but it only takes one person to make somebody never want to go back to the gym again. And trust me, I know.
So, not only does she try to take credit away from Ethan, she also contributed to the trend of claiming any public figure who loses weight is on Ozempic.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
okay. That's actually, it's just really
good at it.
Number 10. Ian and Anisa are constantly complaining about SlopTube content. They hate how they take things out of context, or have never worked a real job in their lives, yet they themselves watch it. It used to be what they watched to go to bed. But aside from that, they engage directly with the community in his infamous Coming Clean video, which only created more SlopTube content and encouraged them to never stop.
Do you know we were done with you? Do you know that, right?
We had a discussion that it's over. All right, let's move on.
We and Andy talked behind the scenes, and I'm like, listen, man, this bog with Dane, there was nothing in it.
But yes, you did say that.
There's nothing, what can we do making fun of Anisa's it's over. Like, we were actually going to cycle Idubbbz out, and that was why we were pushing quartering so hard. Is as the new replacement Idubbbz, the poopy pants or whatever. For whatever reason, he chose the worst timing in the world to release this video. And now it's like what we're going to do now until the end of time, I guess.
But that's not the only hypocrisy. They hate the SlopTube drama side of the internet, yet frequent the leftover subreddit, which is the exact same shit, but against someone they don't like. Ian's even gone as far as to shout this subreddit out.
And we are on the leftovers subreddit. The place that they think is like some horrible snark place that is literally the only place on the internet that is fucking defending people against the non-stop fucking harassment. Shout out leftovers.
If they truly wanted to come clean, they'd admit they love the drama and the attention they get, good or bad, because it validates their egos. They enjoyed drama when it was in their favor and everyone cheered them on, and they enjoyed it when everybody hated them and made fun of them on the internet because they twist it as people mad at them for doing the right thing. But they won't come clean, because coming clean would mean Ian would have to wash his hair.
You know, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. That's actually, it's just really
Good at it.
Number 9. In place of the well-thought-out arguments and talking points Idubbbz used to dish out regularly in his videos, he's now replaced that with a handful of phrases and words that he loops on repeat. Creepy. Weird. Shitty. And parasocial.
Parasocial weirdo.
Now, not only is it lazy and void of substance,
it always just comes down to you, creep. Like, he has no interesting retorts. He has no jokes.
It's true, though.
There's nothing funny or even interesting
It's
here.
so true. Preach,
This is
H3,
very
preach.
telling. This is very telling.
Why?
He's
Go
saying
ahead. Do you
that
have
all
an
this
interesting
comes
retort?
down
Anything
to
funny?
is like,
So H3 is just pointing out that in these Idubbbz co-open C sessions, these horribly boring and repetitive and lame live streams, Idubbbz says nothing that's entertaining, nothing that's funny, and more importantly, he makes no good points. It's just entirely like, you guys are weirdos and creeps and you're bullying me and this is harassment and you're obsessed with Anisa sexually, and it's just like, it's a whole bunch of cope.
but it's hypocritical when they themselves are creepy, weird, and parasocial. Don't even get me started on them being shitty.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
no.
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
There isn't even much to say. The visuals speak for themselves.
You know, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
okay. That's actually, it's just really
Good at it.
Number 8. Something Ian made abundantly clear in his H3H3 content cop is that he doesn't think Ethan is qualified to talk on the Israel-Palestine conflict because there are more educated people on the matter, like Hassan. Despite the fact Ethan has actually lived in Israel for several years, has an Israeli wife, and has heavily criticized it years before Hassan ever did.
Yeah, seriously, look at this fucking place, man. Welcome to Israel. It's the same shitty street. Everywhere that you look, everything looks the same. Welcome to Israel. That being said, I don't hate Israel. I don't think it's a shithole. I definitely like it a lot here.
Meanwhile, Hassan refuses to step foot in Palestine, but that's not the main hypocrisy. The biggest piece of hypocrisy is how he specifically says Anisa is more knowledgeable and qualified on the subject because she's half Lebanese.
Anisa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anisa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel.
Yes, she's lived in Canada her whole life, but you know what? A lot of people value the perspectives of people who belong to a specific racial or ethnic group when the discourse is about said groups. I mean, who would know any better than the people that group consists of, right? Well, unless it's an Iranian man speaking out against the regime he lived in for the majority of his life. That's when it's American propaganda, because apparently the culture shock of being in a Western country not run by an Islamic regime equates to said Western country being perfect in every single way. That's right, if you've been living under a rock for the past month, Ian and Anisa went viral for a stream of theirs reacting to just that in a segment of the hit reality TV show 90 Day Fiancé.
Singing and dancing like on the street, it just feels weird because if you do that in Iran, like they can arrest you. Did you know that?
For dancing?
Like this, like
It's a little eye rolly, like why are you presenting it like it feels like he's fucking paid to do propaganda for
the U.S.
Yeah.
Like the U.S. Like.
So this is so strange to me because I'm seeing everyone having such a good time here, being so free
and laughing.
But in Iran, you would be arrested on the spot for having any sort of joy.
If you were ever feeling joy, they would arrest you in Tehran, Iran.
But instead of listening to the voices of people directly affected by an evil regime,
when she made that, she actually showed me the title, and she said, have you seen these people talking about you? I was right in the middle of when I found out that there were like thousands of people getting killed. I was like, I really do not care. Like, if you want to post something, I do not even know what's going on. I do not care. And when she started like posting that, and when I saw that she's really, really sad about it, I was like, maybe this is something like more serious than just like a Reddit. I really thought it was just like a simple Reddit that somebody talked about us, but no, it was like a person with like audience that is talking like this about what we're going through.
They choose to ignore any accountability. Even after the man's wife called them out directly in a social media post, they still tried to spin the narrative, claiming that, nah, she was actually just talking about people in general saying that.
One thing that I saw about this text that she posted, and they said it's not about them. Yeah, it was about them. It was exactly like the story was exactly about them.
But even before this, one of his viewers, who was an immigrant and had first-hand experience on the situation, called him out directly on stream. But Ian coped and deflected once more. He refused to apologize and didn't just double down, but tripled down. Refusing to apologize or even admit his behavior in any way possible was inappropriate. I think Ian apologized so much during his apology tour, he's tuckered out and won't be apologizing anytime soon.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really.
Good at it.
Number 7. Whenever someone calls out Anisa for her actions, she always defaults to calling them an incel. What about when the person in question is a married woman? Well, then they're struggling with internalized misogyny, because why else would a woman be upset with her? What makes this rich is Anisa has gone on record talking about how she had internalized misogyny for years. You may say it's not hypocritical to call out others for internalized misogyny if they don't have it anymore. Well, I don't think that's the case. When Kate told her about her experience being physically assaulted at work by a mentally ill woman cooked up on drugs, Anisa used that as ammunition when she was angry, posting a tweet blaming Kate, implying there was a correlation between getting attacked and why she isn't making friends. Also, from a post Froggy Fresh's wife made recounting her experiences with Anisa, she talked about how Anisa would become visibly jealous and upset when other women around her were being complimented, and she would then attempt to redirect attention over to herself, claiming she was only nice in text but rude in person. Let's end this segment with a direct quote from Froggy Fresh's wife. I don't use evil lightly, but I think she is. She's not autistic, she's not quirky. She doesn't care about women or minorities. She cares about Anisa.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really.
Good at it.
Number 6. If you've had the displeasure of listening to their podcast, you might just remember Idubbbz doing an impression of RFK. Okay, you probably don't. To endure this podcast involved a lot of dissociation, but what you might actually remember was their extremely long-winded apology for making fun of his speech impediment. Now, you see, one of their fans suffers from the same speech impediment and expressed how it's not okay to make fun of people for something they cannot control, and how certain people who would never stoop to such level before suddenly think it's okay to make fun of people for such things when the person in question is bad, which means they foster these thoughts and perspectives towards all differently abled people, but only ever say how they really feel when the target is deserving. Now, do I completely agree with this train of thought? Not entirely. I understand their perspective though, but thing is, Ian and Anisa were the ones who apologized for that.
Mocking of RFK's condition, because it leads to a kind of a different way of communicating. Tan Wally said, I thought most of this episode was great, but I still can't figure out why everybody has been super empathetic and pro-disability acceptance.
Economics, he is really apologizing. He is really getting on his belly and groveling for forgiveness because he made fun of RFK's voice.
Joke, like who gives a shit?
And that offended somebody, and it's ableism. Well, Tony goes, I thought they already apologized on the previous episode. It wasn't enough.
Nope.
It will never be. It's never
I was
enough.
like, wait, isn't this like a repeat? But you're right. It's a new.
So they understand the harm it could cause towards their viewers, and it supposedly made enough of an impact for them to apologize about it at great lengths. Yep, that's right, folks. Ian and Anisa still like to impersonate the accents of people they don't like, from Galia.
Trolls that have been going against him for years.
Oh, this is actually the opposite of what these shitheads have been saying the whole podcast. Giardi is speaking up, and she's saying, this is the first time Ian is standing up to the harassment in a video.
To the Iranian man from 90 Day Fiancé.
So this is so strange to me because I'm seeing everyone having such a good time here, being so free
and laughing.
But in Iran, you would be arrested on the spot for having any sort of joy.
If you were ever feeling joy, they would arrest you in Tehran, Iran.
Again, this wouldn't be an issue if they didn't take the stance they did prior. It just makes you wonder, what's going through their heads? Who knows? Maybe they figured nobody remembers because nobody watches their podcast aside from PPP. Oh yeah, also, Ian called PPP fat.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really
Good at it.
Number 5. If you keep up at all with the Idubbbz drama, you've already heard the Froggy Fresh creator clash crap 1,000 times. So I'll try to keep it short and get to the point. Viewers have multiple reasons why they believe Froggy was kicked from the Creator Clash card, but let's take Ian's word for it. He claims Froggy was kicked from the card for collaborating with Sam Hyde, Ian's sworn enemy. He doesn't want to engage with those in Sam Hyde's sphere. I mean, he even used it as a way to discredit a Reddit account in his content cop. Safe to say, he doesn't want to deal with Sam Hyde or anyone who associates with him. He barely tolerated Harley doing it in the first Creator Clash. So, when the second one came along, it was clear to him that the people associating with Sam didn't have his best interest. Well, you know, that's quite rich, seeing that in Ian's disgraced content cop, he claimed Ethan was only mad at him and Anisa because he was following people he didn't like on Twitter, when in reality it was because Ian and Anisa were actively messaging and engaging with people perpetuating the narrative the clients were neglecting their children, and that concerned viewers should call CPS on them. Ian was so upset when Ethan called them out for being halfway friends that he made a content cop on him, even after previously denouncing content cops in general because nobody deserves that kind of harassment. It is insane. When explaining one hypocrisy, it just reveals another hypocrisy. So it looks like Ethan was right to assume they were halfway friends. Interesting, Ian uses Ethan's assumption as a point against him when he has had the same exact train of thought regarding Sam Hyde.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really
Good at it.
Number 4. Yep, You read that correctly. Ian and Anisa tried pressuring H3H3 crew members, AB and Lena, to quit their jobs because they don't like their boss. This is weird, creepy, toxic behavior, but we already covered them being weird and creepy. But threatening your supposed friends to quit their jobs is already screwed up. But Anisa knew that not only was AB planning on quitting in the future, but he was providing for his family. She felt like AB should jeopardize his family because she felt Ethan was super immoral and that his staff members should quit because he's Netanyahu's right-hand man or something.
That Netanyahu should be tried for war crimes. He should immediately resign. I can tell you that the West Bank settlements are basically an act of war. And I don't really believe even that settlers are civilians in the same way that the people who were murdered are. I can tell you that what Israel's doing in Gaza is as evil can be.
Now, what's interesting is, despite Anisa wanting AB and Lena to quit their jobs because their boss is an evil Zionist who defends Israel, Anisa's employers actually send money directly to Israel. Yep, that's right. Make it make sense. The OnlyFans CEO sends his money to Israel, meaning that Anisa is directly responsible for giving money to the government she despises with every inch of her being. But yeah, since Anisa has made OnlyFans such a massive part of her identity, I guess she refuses to switch over to another exclusive content site, but AB, who provides for multiple people in his family directly, should quit his job without another one lined up because the world revolves around Anisa and the morals in which she herself doesn't even stick by.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really.
Number 3. So, to the surprise of nobody, Ian is against toxic masculinity. He doesn't like it when men exert their power over him in a primal-like manner. He doesn't like it when men yell at him, and has gone on record saying his boxing coach had toxic masculine traits, which we all know resulted in him crying and recounting boxing as a traumatic experience. Now, I don't consider this a bad thing, necessarily. People like to act like toxic masculinity refers to all aspects of masculinity, when that couldn't be further from the truth. Toxic masculinity isn't when a man steps in to fight off somebody attacking a defenseless person. It isn't when men hold their composure in a high-stress situation, pushing their emotions to the side to do what needs to be done in the moment. And it isn't when men use their physical advantages to do what's right. Toxic masculinity refers to negative things, like bottling up your emotions to the point where you are starting to have a negative effect on your friends or family. It's when you can't control your emotions and lash out against anyone you feel has plighted you. And it is most certainly when you want to fight anyone who challenges you or your worldview because instead of winning an argument based on the facts at hand or through emotional maturity, they result to settling a verbal dispute with physical violence and whoever can hit harder.
In Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan. He said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs.
Yes, Ian did this back in the day with Jinx and Rice Gum, but he's even expressed a desire to box Ethan Klein.
Guy, he is such a fucking asshole. Like, can we do a sanctioned boxing match?
Knowing he doesn't have any boxing experience and is considerably older than him, but he doesn't even want to box him in a good-spirited way. He blatantly said he wants Ethan to experience great pain because it's the only thing he believes that can change his internal thinking.
And I think Ethan would have to, as an example, but there's many other people, but Ethan as the example, would have to crash and burn and get hurt in a very life-changing way. Not physically hurt necessarily.
Right, yeah.
But if he wants to do boxing, I'll fucking, sure, I'll do it. But yeah, hurt in some way, feel the fucking impact and the weight of, his actions. That's great.
Aside from this being an absolutely unhinged way of thinking, it goes to show that he cannot fight with well-reasoned arguments anymore to make people reconsider their views. The only way he feels like he can exert power over people is with physical violence. Sounds like he's been watching too much Hassan Piker.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. It's just really.
Number 2. So this, in my opinion, shows Ian and Anisa's true color, full mask off and malicious. People can hate on the Jamas for a lot of frivolous reasons, but this, in my opinion, is why I don't feel any empathy for the countless people online gawking at their fumbles. So the main talking point Ian used to justify his content cop, where he completely turned heel on his friend of 8 years, Ethan Klein, the man who helped advertise all of his creator clashes, Ethan Klein, and the only one of Ian's old YouTube buddies that openly defended him throughout all of his controversies, Ethan Klein, was because Ethan was unjustified, feeling betrayed by the Jamas, refusing to say anything about their own friends, spreading the narrative Ethan's children should be taken away by CPS. Now, when this is brought up, most people say Ian wasn't obligated to say anything, but it is kind of scummy that he refused to say anything in his long-term friend's time of need. That this was the guy who defended you during all of your controversies, and he promoted your boxing event. Not to mention, Ian and Ethan had a pretty big fan overlap. Out of all the stances Ian could have took, saying that calling CPS on Ethan's family is screwed up and the accusations against him were completely baseless would be like the least controversial take he's had in years. Most content creators' haters have their own limits. Like, yeah, they'll laugh at you, they'll make fun of you, they'll A-log you, but once the person gets swatted, their family threatened, or even doxxed, most of the haters, the biggest ones too, will call out the unhinged degenerates who are responsible for it. People hated Ethan Klein for so long, but saw how screwed up and unhinged these allegations were, and were more than happy to rally against the people responsible. This isn't the main hypocrisy, however. This is only the tip of the iceberg. On October 7th, 2025, Hassan Piker was caught shocking his dog on stream for leaving her bed. The footage is irrefutable.
America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
He doesn't want his dog walking around, so he zapped her to stay put in her place during a 6, maybe 8-hour stream, I forgot exactly. Hassan, his orbiters, and a good chunk of their fans tried defending this, twisting the narrative in any way they could, but you just can't. Hassan tried saying it wasn't a shot caller, it was a vibration caller, to eventually, after a while, trying to argue shot callers aren't even bad, completely deflecting from the main point that it is abusive to punish your dog for standing up and leaving their beds after hours of being stationary. Hassan abused his dog on camera, plain and simple. The only people that don't believe he did are in the Hassan cult or abuse their own dogs themselves. Now, Anisa defended Hassan the day of the shock, followed by Ian later on a stream. They couldn't do the bare minimum and tweet out Ethan doesn't neglect his kids and they don't eat shit, but they could tweet and stream in defense of Hassan blatantly abusing his dogs. The people who are supposedly animal lovers, they'll bend over backwards for Hassan, but not care at all when Ethan needs support. This just shows how deep they are in Hassan's cult of personality. They can see reality right in front of themselves, but if Hassan says something contrary to it, they'll full-heartedly believe their Lord and Savior Hassan Abi. This is pretty much as two-faced and low as it gets. Sprinkle on the fact Ian was talking about making a content cop on Ethan, and it's transparent how detestable Ian and Anisa truly are. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly could be a bigger hypocrisy than not wanting to defend your friend of 8 years while people are trying to get their kid taken away, when you soon after fully defend an animal abuser caught on tape because your wife loves his politics? What Jama hypocrisy deserves to be crowned number 1?
You know, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Okay. That's actually, it's just really
Good at it.
Number 1. If you are subscribed to this channel, you're probably familiar with the Idubbbz and Anisa cartoon 2025. I originally made it for those who would have enjoyed it in the IMissTheOldIdubbbz subreddit, but it soon gained a lot of traction, and for a short while popped up whenever you searched Idubbbz on YouTube. Needless to say, about a week or so before I uploaded that video, Ian was on stream saying Ethan was a pussy for refusing to watch the Legend of Ethan Klein animation on his stream. Ethan thought it was stupid and didn't want to watch it, to which Ian Ian gloated about how much of a pussy he was for that. All I have to say is, it's pretty interesting Ian never watched my cartoon on him. I guess that makes him a pussy in his own words. He can't use my use of copyrighted music as an excuse because he streams copyrighted music all the time. And again, my video was one of the first Idubbbz related videos for a while. Maybe it slipped under his radar. I don't think so. When screenshots from the Idubbbz Discord were going viral, I tried to join their Discord just to watch and see what was going on. I accepted the invite and read the terms. Now, it was just time to wait for approval, and I was kicked out, unable to attempt to enter again. I couldn't even say anything yet. I was pending approval. I almost never use Discord, so it's not like my account was flagged or anything like that, but I guess Han or one of their Discord mods recognized my profile picture and immediately banned me. So I think it's safe to say they've seen it and are in the very least aware of it. So again, it's quite interesting how they gawk at Ethan Klein for not wanting to watch a weird, mean-spirited, dark animation made on him, but refuses to watch a colorful, comedic, goofy, upbeat cartoon made about them. Well, I guess in Ian's own words, he's a pussy. I'm the culpability critic. I remember it because why would anyone want to remember this?